What up, YouTube? I'm back, and Jujutsu Kaisen is also back with their second core and their newest arc. It's called the Kyoto Goodwill event arc, and I can't wait to talk about what happened in this episode. But the last time that we watched an episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, it was when Mahito was fighting Nanami and Itadori, and it was an awesome 2-episode fight. It was one of the best episodes, of the series so far. And in this week's episode, it kind of started with their curses, and discussing their next plan, because they said that they want to gather all of the fingers of Sukuna and then offer them to him. I'm guessing they're doing that to maybe ask Sukuna for his help or something like that. I'm not really sure. And then they also want to go take the 6 fingers that Jujutsu Tech right now has, so that's going to be interesting and all. And we also know that Yoshino also had a finger of Sukuna inside of him, so right now Jujutsu Tech also has that finger, but the cursors actually did that on purpose. So I'm wondering if they're only doing that so that they could attack Jujutsu Tech or something like that, or maybe there's a trap in that fingers especially. I'm not really sure, but they have a plan right now. They want to have all the fingers and offer them to Sukuna, and they also let one of Sukuna's fingers in Yoshino so that Jujutsu Tech could take it, so I'm wondering what their plan really is. Anyway, that was basically the beginning of the episode. Then we got a new opening for the second part of the season. It was an awesome opening. I still like the first opening more, the song, I like it more, but the 2 opening right now of Jujutsu Kaisen are really good in my opinion. Obviously the animation for the openings are really good. I really liked it, but I'm not gonna talk about it in details because anime openings has a lot of spoilers, so I didn't want to watch too much of it, but it was really good. I really liked it. Anyway, like I said, this next arc is called the Kyoto Goodwill event arc, and the reason it's called like that is because the 2 Jujutsu Tech, Kyoto sister school are going to do an exchange event. It's basically a tournament of some sort that will involve the 2 schools with the students of the 2 schools, so all of that is pretty interesting. So the duration of this event, I think, is about 2 days, and there's 2 separate events in that event. The first one is a group battle, I think, and the other one, I'm not really sure if they explained it. Let me know in the comments down below. But one of the events that they said is a cursed spirit exorcism race, which is interesting. So I'm wondering if in that race they will actually fight each other, or if this is actually the group battle. I'm not really sure exactly, but I think that's going to be interesting to see how this works. They explained all the details in the episode, but it's pretty simple, so I'm not gonna talk about the details. They have to exercise some curses in some areas first, and the team that has the most exorcism made at the end of this race ones, so it's pretty easy. But yeah, that was the first event. I'm wondering if the second event is gonna be group battle or something else. I'm not really sure, but it's gonna be fun to watch. Anyway, obviously there was something else that was pretty big in this episode, and it was the reveal that Itadori was still alive, to the main characters, and that was amazing because Gojo Sensei actually wanted that to be a surprise, so that's what they did. And the reaction to the characters were really, really funny because some didn't care, some were just too surprised to actually react. Like Fushiguro and Nobara were really, really surprised, but after that we just saw how Nobara was kind of glad, because she had tears in her eyes, and she was kind of blushing and everything like that. So I really like their reaction a lot, especially Nobara. I don't know if she's gonna be the wifey of Itadori at some point, but I thought it was a great reaction overall. We were also reintroduced and introduced to some new characters. Obviously the students from the Kyoto part of Jujutsu Tech were introduced, and they're pretty interesting characters. Some we were already introduced to, and others we were introduced for the first time. So obviously one of the first that we were introduced to a few episodes ago was actually their director, that we're going to talk about a little bit more later in this review. But obviously he's the principal. His name is Gakungaji Yoshinobu. So he's fishy, man. We need to talk about him more later in the episode. Then we were introduced to, I think, basically she's the teacher, just like Gojo Sensei, you know, but in the Kyoto part of the Jujutsu Tech. So her name is Iori Utaime. She's pretty interesting. She has a big ass scar on her face. We were officially introduced to this lady right there. She was a fangirl of Gojo Sensei. Her name is Miwa Kazumi. She was also the bodyguard of the principal, and she's a second year, you know, so that was pretty cool. There was also this dude right there. His name is Kamo Noritoshi, and he's a third year. He's pretty interesting because he's pretty laid back, so I'm wondering how strong he really is. There was also another dude that we were introduced to that was pretty weird. His name is Ultimate Mikamaru, and he's a second year. It seems like he's actually a robot or something like that. So a Jujutsu sorcerer, a robot, is pretty interesting, man. I didn't think that we would get something like that, but we saw that there's a panda sorcerer, you know, so I guess I can't be surprised. There was this girl right there. Her name is Nishimiya Momo. She's a third year, and she looks like a witch, you know, so that's pretty interesting. And then two characters that we were already introduced to. Todo Ao, a third year. Obviously, he's the one that just was beating up Fushiguro, and he's pretty strong, you know, so I can't wait to see him fight Itadori maybe. And then for last, you know, it was Zenin Mei. She's a second year, and obviously she's the twin sister of Maki Zenin, you know, so we were introduced and reintroduced to some characters. And something else that was introduced is that Fushiguro is actually part of the Zenin bloodline, and he's actually stronger than Maki and May, I think. So that's pretty interesting that it was revealed like that, you know. But yeah, man, it was pretty cool to be introduced to some new characters and reintroduced to some characters that we've seen before, but in more depth, you know. So that was pretty cool. Now we need to talk about the Kyoto Principle, because he's one of the higher ups that wanted to kill Itadori because he's the Sukuna vessel, and obviously he told his student in this week's episode to kill Itadori during the event, you know. So that's kind of crazy that that's actually happening, you know, but he didn't know that Itadori was alive. He was really surprised when he saw that Itadori was still alive, so that was kind of funny to see his reaction. But it's kind of crazy, like I said, that he's doing that he's telling his students to kill Itadori, you know. But that was one of the scenes that I thought was the craziest. Another scene that I really liked to end the episode was Gojo Sensei talking to, you know, the teacher from Kyoto. Her name is Iori, and it seems like Gojo and Iori have been known each other for a long time. Maybe they went to school together or something like that, but I really like, you know, their relationship. It's kind of funny. I really like it a lot. But anyhow, Gojo Sensei told Iori that there's someone in Jujutsu Tech that is working with a curse user or curses. So that's everything about that is really interesting. I'm wondering who it is, and I can't wait for it to be revealed, you know. But it's gonna be interesting, man. I can't really know from the characters that we've seen so far, but I'm guessing that during this arc maybe we'll have some idea of who is working with a curse user or curses, you know. So I can't wait for that to be revealed. It was a really good episode. I can't wait for next week's episode because it seems like we'll get some combat or some sort, so I can't wait. But let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below, and let me know what you think is gonna happen next. One of the final question that I have for you guys is, I'm wondering how Iori got that big ass scar on her face, you know. Hopefully maybe one day we'll learn about that, but I'm really wondering how she got that. But yeah, man, I do Jujutsu Kaisen reviews every Friday, so subscribe for that. But I also do other anime related things like One Piece reviews on Saturdays, Boruto Naruto Next Generation reviews on Sunday mornings, and then Attack on Titan reviews later that day. I also do Black Clover reviews on Tuesdays and The Promised Neverland plus Dr. Stone reviews on Thursday, so stay tuned for all of that. Like, comment, subscribe, it would help my channel a lot, and follow me at Anime Specialist on Twitter and Instagram, man. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Anime Specialist out. Peace.